Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. So today's video is kind of the long-awaited, for me at least. I'm just gonna be talking about like post-grad life because I'm graduating college, so no more school for me at all, and it's like a huge life change I'm kind of freaking out about. So I feel like sitting down and making this video will like calm me down and just like talking through it, but also hopefully help those of you going through the same thing, or maybe going into your senior year of college in the fall and you're like preparing for all this stuff. Basically I'll be talking about kind of like what I did in college, like my kind of like little journey through college, I guess, but then also mainly obviously talking about what I'm doing post-grad and my plans for that and how everything is going so far. It's currently the last week of classes for me, and then I have finals week, and then I graduate. It's coming up very quick. I have, of course, every video I'm just like reading off my iPad, guys, because I need to have notes, otherwise I just like don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just get into it. It's just gonna be kind of like a chat, like almost like a podcasty type video. Let's just get into it. I have talked about this a lot, and I do have whole videos on my gap year and everything if you want to go check those out, but I'll just kind of, you know, recap it for those who don't know. So I graduated high school in 2020, so never got a real graduation for that which is really sad, but it's okay. Graduated high school 2020, really weird time for everyone obviously, but it was just a really weird time to be a senior in high school because it's just like you're supposed to be going through these big life changes, but like the world is kind of stopped and I just didn't know what to do. So I was committed to going to UW Milwaukee. I'm from Wisconsin, by the way, if you didn't know. I don't really talk about like where exactly I go to school and stuff, but now that I'm out of school I can. So the summer after high school I got a full-time job. I was working, you know, 40 hours a week right at the beginning of COVID, so like, you know, we had to start wearing masks and stuff. And I had this friend on Twitter who we realized we were both going to UW Milwaukee, and we're like, we should room. So she's one of my very best friends now, but I'll get into that. We were fully committed to like room together, but then as it got closer, we realized, UWM said that everything would be online. Like there's gonna be no in-person classes, everything's gonna be online. So basically you'd just be in your dorm literally all day 24/7. And it's like, okay, first of all, I don't do too great with online class. I feel like I don't learn as well or as much. So I was like, ugh, I don't love that. With all that, I decided to just take a gap year. My roommate did her classes online and everything, but I didn't take any classes. I said, I cannot do that. So I took a gap year and I continued to just work full-time throughout that year. You know, I was fully committed to going back to school obviously at the end of it. It took a year to just like chill. I really liked it because it gave me time to like make sure I was doing the right thing, doing the right major and everything, and just take a year to kind of chill, especially again during COVID. That's that. So in the fall of 2021 I finally started my freshman year of college, and I did a semester at UWM. Me and my friend moved in together to be roommates finally, and that was so fun. I loved it. I actually ended up transferring back home to UW Stevens Point, UWSP. Why can I not say UW? Because just of a lot of different factors. Okay, there's a FedEx truck outside being really loud right now. So I did say, obviously I loved living with the people that I lived with, and I met my best friends through that. Obviously it just wasn't for me necessarily. I don't know, it was just like, I think it was like such a big change at once, and I know everybody was going through the same thing, but I just did not handle it very well. And also just like the financial aspect of dorming and living away from home and, you know, having to fund that all myself was just a lot. So I ended up moving back home, which is where I am now. This is where I grew up and everything, and I finished my last, you know, the rest of the years at UWSP, and that's where I will and that's where I will be graduating from in a few weeks. Regarding the majors that I am in, majors and minors, so I am a media studies major and a political science major, which is a really weird combination, but I feel like if you know me, like that makes sense for me and my interests. And then I'm also minoring in communication. So media studies is kind of like, I guess it's just like a lot of social media, advertising, journalism type things, you know, just analyzing media and writing articles and writing scripts and making videos, and it's just a lot of creative work, which I really enjoyed. I loved my media studies classes so much. It was the perfect major for me, and I'm really sad that this semester I didn't get to take any. I could have, but I just took the bare minimum classes that I had to take, and I was done with my major last semester, so I had to finish up my political science major this semester. That I added, or maybe when I started at UWSP I added my poli-sci major. I don't remember, but because I was really interested in politics as well. I really enjoyed AP Gov and all my politics classes in high school, and I was like, I feel like that could be a good major. I even briefly considered going into law school. That's not like seriously considered, but it's always been like in the back of my mind, but I've officially come to the conclusion that's never happening. So yeah, I enjoyed learning about that stuff. So 2 majors, and then my junior year, maybe even the end of my sophomore year, I took a comm class and I was like, oh, I really like this. So then I started taking more and more comm classes. I took like 2 or 3 at one semester at one point, and I really enjoyed it because, you know, you're writing press releases, you're doing PR, all that stuff, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I loved it. So I ended up taking enough classes to fulfill the major, so that got added on to my degree. I mean, it's not really on your degree, but like, and that's definitely the route that I want to go down, but we'll talk about that later. Also, I'm graduating with Bachelor of Arts in Poli-Sci and Media Studies. Of course, you know, typical, I feel like college experience is to do like a study abroad. I mean, not typical, but like a lot of people tend to do study abroad. My friends did study abroad, and I was like, it looks so fun. Even before they like went on it, I was even considering doing it because I was just like, I need to like see the world. Like, I need to travel. And so I found this one program that my school did where you go to London for just the summer. You take like a few classes, a class or a few classes, and you get credit. Obviously, it's study abroad. Duh. Like, I don't need to explain study abroad. I was so dead set on doing this. And then the summer that I wanted to go, they weren't running it. I was like, oh, cool, of course. So, but it's fine because I ended up going anyways. As you guys know, I had money saved up to do study abroad, obviously, so I just took that and I went on an EF Ultimate Break trip instead, and that was so much fun, and I didn't have to do any school during it. So that's my experience with that. Getting into kind of my senior year. For my senior year, my first semester was rough. I had a full packed schedule. I had poli-sci classes, I had media studies classes, just finishing up my media studies degree and, you know, trying to finish up my poli-sci degree. It was a whole thing. So that semester was rough, jam-packed, assignments due every day, essays due every week. Just, it was rough. If you saw any of my vlogs during that time, I was struggling. So this last semester, I only took 2, kind of 3 classes. One was online, which I was fine with because it let me go at my own pace, and it's just one, like, it's fine. And I knew the professor, like, I've had her in-person classes before, so I knew how she taught, and her online classes are really good. So I had an in-person poli-sci class, and then my internship, which you're like enrolled in an internship class to get credit for it, but you don't actually, you just go to your internship. So I had an internship. I was a marketing assistant, and it was so fun. I enjoyed my experience there so much. I learned a lot, and I learned that like that's definitely what I want to do with my career path. I don't have, like, when people ask me like what I want to do, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I could do so many different things, especially with the degree that I have in media studies. Like, that's so many different things. You know, marketing, obviously I was a marketing assistant, but I feel like I did a lot of different things within it. Like, I wrote press releases, I designed a bunch of stuff for advertising, and obviously that's part of marketing, but like, it was just so fun. Like, you know, we started a video series, and it was just like, that's exactly what I want to do. So I feel like that gave me the experience to go into many different fields. Yeah, and I got credit for it. I had to find an internship to graduate my media studies degree. So that was also a stressful part of last semester. Was like trying to find a internship so I could graduate. That is kind of my college experience and my thoughts on like what I'm doing with my degree. Kind of, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Now let's talk about post-grad and what I'm going to be doing this summer and moving forward. So as I mentioned, I made such amazing friends at UWM. We are actually, a few of us are planning on moving in together towards the end of this summer, more probably maybe like middle towards the end. We'll see how it all works out. We're searching right now. So that's my plan. I graduate in May, and then, you know, hopefully by September we'll all be moved in together, and it'll be so fun. I'll only be about an hour and a half away from home, which is so nice because I have such good friends here too that I've been, you know, having so much fun with, and it's just so like bittersweet. It's like I don't want to choose between my 2 friend groups. I know I'll see them all the time because it's not that far, and we can have, you know, weekends together and everything. That'll be fun. So yeah, so we're looking to move in together. Very exciting. I've only ever lived, you know, in the dorm for 1 semester away from home, so it'll be a good experience. I'm excited to like have my own room. I think that was like part of the issue with the dorms. Not even really issue. It's just like obviously I loved with who I lived with, but I like need my own space, and in the dorms you just don't have that. Like, I just need my like quiet alone time every once in a while to just like recharge. It'll be nice to, you know, live in an apartment or a house and stuff and just like live with my best friends, but also just like have my own space, my own new life away from home. It'll be very interesting. Huge changes. So obviously I will be documenting moving vlogs and everything when that time comes. It'll be interesting. I have to pack up my whole life and move it out of this room. I've lived in this room since I was in 2nd grade, which is, no, 3rd grade. That's gonna be crazy. It's very sentimental. Try not to think about it right now. Talk about graduation, going back to that, totally forgot. This will be my very first like actual official graduation ever. So that's gonna be very sentimental. I can already tell I'm gonna cry. You know, high school, never got one. My school was gonna do a big outdoor one, and then that got canceled for whatever reason. So never had that. We had like a little drive-through parking lot graduation, and then I had to go get my wisdom teeth out right after. So don't really see that as an actual graduation. So very excited for that whole experience, even though I know a lot of people say it's overrated, but I've never had one, so I'm like, I need to experience it. So now for the rest of summer, I mean, kind of just these upcoming weeks, I need to start, you know, putting together my resume. Obviously I have a resume, but now I need to like update it and like really spruce it up for finding a full-time job in whatever I end up going into. Like I said, I feel like I have a really good idea of what I want to do, but like also the advantage of I can kind of apply to a bunch of different jobs because I have experience with so many different things, and I would be fine with so many different jobs. So that's very nice. Yeah, putting together a resume. I really want to put together like a portfolio, like a website, and maybe even a physical portfolio as well. I need to get going on those. That'll be my next week's to-do list, is putting that all together and getting that together to be a professional. I'm very excited to not have to do schoolwork like that. I'm like sad that I don't have any more school. Like I've always been someone who mostly enjoyed school. When it got really stressful, I was just like, oh my god, I need it to be over. But it's gonna be weird not like going to classes and like having assignments to turn in and like deadlines and stuff, but I feel like it's also gonna be like so nice. And I have experienced, you know, that gap year of no school and everything, and at first it was a weird transition, but then it's like, it's so nice because you just go to work and then you get home and you don't have more assignments to do, or you don't have, you know, all these other things to do. You can just do whatever you want. So that is definitely what I'm looking forward to, you know, kind of creating my own routine, my own structure of how I want my life to go. Definitely gonna be a weird transition. So this summer, as I'm looking for, you know, places to move, or as me and my friends are looking for places to move into, and I'm applying to jobs and stuff, I'm just gonna be working at my job that I work at now, my little part-time gig, you know, saving up money and cleaning out my room and packing up to move, and it's gonna be a huge life change. I will continue to make videos and everything, but yeah, post-grad life is gonna be very interesting. I'll probably make a few more videos on that and just being like, okay, like what next? I'm fully an adult now. I'm 23 years old. Like I have a degree, and we gotta see where that takes us, I guess. It's gonna be crazy, but I think it's gonna be good, and I will be documenting a lot of it on YouTube. And I've been making vlogs on TikTok every once in a while, so go check out that. I do a lot of like more running content over there, but I kind of do some days in the life every once in a while. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. So that is kind of my thoughts on graduating and post-grad life and what I'm planning on doing. But also I feel like it's totally okay to not know what you're doing, because I really only halfway know what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, I have this little plan, but I'm also like, I'm just kind of rolling with it, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, let me know if you guys are graduating, what your plans are. If you don't have any plans, again, that's totally okay. Like, you don't have to have everything all figured out. All through high school, I was like, okay, by the time I graduate, like, I'm gonna know exactly what I want to do and have this job. And I feel like you have such this like big pressure on you to like know exactly what job you want to go into. But like, I graduated high school, took a gap year, took full 4 years of college, and I still don't have one singular career path that I want to go down. Like, I have so many different options that I can take. I'm fine with any of them. You just gotta kind of roll with it, and I'm excited to see where it takes me and everything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I want to see you guys next week. Bye.